Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's safe to say that Superman has returned. I'm not talking Clark Kent, I'm talking Cam Newton. Now, if you told me before this season started that Cam Newton would throw 400 yards with a New England Patriots uniform on, leading them to a potential AFC playoff run, I would have called you crazy. It was only just this offseason where Cam Newton couldn't even find the job throughout a good portion of free agency. A former NFL MVP couldn't find a job. So how is it possible that a former MVP, All-Pro, Pro Bowl quarterback who hasn't yet left his prime, how could he have been a free agent for so long? And I think to answer this question, we're going to have to figure out why the Carolina Panthers cut him and what exactly happened in Cam Newton's career for his stock to have fallen that low for the New England Patriots to basically get him for the price of an NFL kicker. Before he was Superman, he was Cameron Jarrell Newton, played for Auburn, won a Heisman champion, was a national champion, the first overall pick in the NFL draft to the Carolina Panthers. He had one of the highest expectations in recent NFL history to come in and perform. And I'm not gonna lie to you, he did exactly that. Dropped 400-yard game in his first start in the league. Went and dropped another 400-yard game a week after against Aaron Rodgers. His expectations that people had for him were through the roof. And although he wasn't able to sustain that rookie season and the Panthers kind of had an underwhelming season where they ended up missing the playoffs, expectations were still there after he threw a 4,000-yard rookie season where he had 14 rushing touchdowns and he made a Pro Bowl appearance. So the expectations were still there. But in his second year, outside of just lowering his turnovers, he had a very underwhelming season where he basically dropped off pretty dramatically in a lot of the top statistical categories. And the Panthers had yet another underwhelming season where they finished 7-9. And people's expectations for Cam Newton had fallen back down to reality. And I think after that point, Ron Rivera and the Carolina Panthers decided to take a different approach. Instead of focusing just on the quarterback play, they decided to play more of a run the ball, play defense, get turnovers sort of game where Cam Newton would run the ball, make the plays that he had to, and kind of game manage. And I'm not going to lie to you, that paid off because that following season, they went 12-4, finished number 1 in the division, had a plethora of Pro Bowlers. Cam Newton made another Pro Bowl appearance, and the Carolina Panthers looked like they had gotten everything figured out till they got bounced out of the first round by the 49ers. And 2 seasons later, the Panthers had one of their best seasons in their franchise history. Cam Newton led them to a 15-1 record. He had over 40 total touchdowns, 35 passing touchdowns, only 10 interceptions. He was on fire. All-Pro, MVP, led them to the Super Bowl where they ended up losing a close game, but still it was a great season for the Carolina Panthers, and we just had to believe that this is it. Cam Newton has finally played fully into his hype, and everyone was back on the Cam Newton bandwagon. But what happened after that season had to have broken a lot of Carolina Panthers fans' hearts. The team would just swing in and out of mediocrity, missing playoffs, making the playoffs after the 2015 season, to the point where they are now, where they're just back to an average team. Some of that had to do with the fact that they had a bunch of players leaving the team, players like Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis, Jonathan Stewart, Steve Smith. A lot of their core players had started to leave. But that's not really enough to explain how Cam Newton went from an MVP in the Super Bowl to someone who struggled to make the playoffs year in and year out and didn't make a Pro Bowl since that MVP season. Since 2016, Cam Newton's dealt with a concussion. He's dealt with a shoulder rotator cuff tear in the 2016 season. He ended up getting surgery on that. He ended up getting a knee strain, suffering ligament and cartilage damage and he avoided surgery on that, kept playing through that one. And then in the next season, in October 21st, he dealt with a shoulder injury that he played with until the final 2 weeks of the season, where the Panthers just shut him down because he just did not look right. And I think the final blow for Cam Newton was last year in the 2019 season. He dealt with a pedalysphoric.
What?
I mean, yo, I'm not gonna. I can't pronounce anything, but I will tell you that it's basically a left foot injury that he had against the Bucks in week 2 of last season. He ended up missing all of the regular season, and that was really his final play as a Carolina Panther quarterback, because later on in that offseason, the Carolina Panthers ended up cutting Cam Newton. Yes, their number 1 overall pick, their prodigy, their star quarterback who took them to a Super Bowl. They let him go. So they let him go and moved on with Teddy Bridgewater, great quarterback. But what really surprised me is what happened afterwards. Cam Newton was a free agent and nobody cared. I didn't hear about any teams lining up to sign Cam Newton. Cam Newton spent months as a free agent, and Cam Newton's agent's phone must have been dry because nobody was calling him. But the fact that a former NFL MVP was not signed to a single roster was beyond me. And at the time, the big quarterback news was the fact that the New England Patriots had finally let Tom Brady walk. Yes, Tom Brady had left the New England Patriots and they needed to fill a void. So they took a very low risk. When I say low risk, I mean Cam Newton is getting paid the same, if not lower, than the kicker. And the thing that nobody really thought about is Cam Newton, for the first time in his career, didn't have to play through any injuries. It's been a while since he had surgery. He was healthy and not playing football for a whole year. He had all that time to heal, and in that time, Cam Newton was on his prove himself journey. He was working out. I saw clips every day. All I heard from Cam Newton, all I saw from Cam Newton, he was at the gym, he was grinding, he was working out. I mean, you could tell just by the way that he doesn't really dip his elbow and slant back on his wrong foot when he throws. You could see that he's improved his throwing mechanic. He's put in work. And a fully healthy Cam Newton in the best shape of his life was such a huge steal, the steal of the offseason for the New England Patriots. Now, we're only 2 games into this season, but the way Cam Newton has improved and the fact that he is healthy, he's a former MVP, makes me believe he will return to the glory days. Maybe not an NFL MVP, but he will take this Patriots team as far as he could physically take them. That team is on his shoulders. The defense is not what it used to be. Lost a lot of pieces. So this season is not just going to be like I initially thought would make him a great addition to the Patriots, which was he can be a huge part of the run game. They're going to run the ball heavy, burn out a lot of clock. He can evade guys that Tom Brady couldn't evade to give this slower Patriot receiving core more time to get open. And with his more pinpoint accuracy velocity passes, thought he'd be able to fit it in super tight windows to mix in with a great defense. And I thought they were going to have a really good season, probably better than they did last season. But nobody in the league saw him passing the way he passed against the Seattle Seahawks. And if he can maintain the way he's been playing so far this season, Cam Newton will be making every NFL GM who needed a quarterback look very foolish for overpaying for quarterbacks who are currently underperforming when he was in the market. It's actually wild how the Bears thought that Mitchell Trubisky was going to be better than Cam Newton.
Oh, not the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
So how do you guys think Cam Newton is going to do this season? I personally think he could have a Pro Bowl season. It's going to be tough, but I think this offense, I have not felt this good about the Patriots offense since Tom Brady lost that Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles. That was the last season where I thought, damn, this Patriots offense is unstoppable. I'm getting that similar vibe from this Patriots offense. And I think they go as far as Cam Newton takes them, but the big thing is health. Let's just pray for that young king to be healthy all season, and I hope that with all the players that the New England Patriots have, Cam Newton proves all his haters wrong. As long as he can stay healthy, that shouldn't be an issue. Comment down below what you guys think the Patriots win-loss record is going to be this season. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Like really helps out the YouTube algorithm. I will be dropping more NFL content. This channel is just beginning. Please help it go all the way to the moon. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers as a short-term goal. And yeah, man, stay safe out there. I'm gonna see y'all.
Just wanna sit back, collect a check from these sweats that walk up in this bitch. Yeah, walk up in the room, what it do?